Thank you for choosing the Morningstar Marinas rental boat fleet for your special day on the water. Our video will walk you through Morningstar's boat rental process, ensuring a safe and fun day on the water for you and your family. After reviewing and completing the rental contract, a damage deposit will be collected. The damage deposit is taken in the event of any and all damages incurred to the rental while in your possession. The expectation of care for the rental is to maintain the quality and integrity of the vessel as it was provided to you. The rental checkout sheet will go over 6 aspects: the condition of the boat, the fuel level, included gear and equipment, as well as the replacement cost for any unreturned gear, a passenger roster of everyone on board, and finally, an agreed-upon return time for the rental boat. Safety and awareness are the most important aspects to enjoying a day out on the water.
When operating your watercraft, scan constantly for people, objects, and other boats. Operate defensively at safe speeds. Do not follow directly behind other watercraft or boats. Do not go near others to spray or splash them. Avoid sharp turns that make it difficult for others to understand where you are going. Do not jump wakes or waves, as you could collide with another boat or impact your body on the watercraft. In some states, wake jumping is prohibited by law. Also, you should not operate your watercraft in rough water, bad weather, or when visibility is poor. As with any water sport, you should not ride your watercraft in remote areas alone. If you're riding further than swimming distance to shore, you should be accompanied by another boat. Never ride in water that is less than 2 feet deep. You increase your chances of sucking debris into the jet pump or hitting an underwater obstacle and injuring yourself. And don't operate your watercraft after sunset or before dawn. It's not equipped with the lighting required for night operation. And ride within your limits. You and any passengers riding with you must wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved personal flotation device, also known as a PFD, and it's the law. You and your passengers should always keep both feet on the footrest floor when the watercraft is in motion. If you lift your feet, you increase your chances of losing your balance, and your feet could hit objects outside the watercraft. The passenger should hold on firmly either to the person in front or the passenger handholds, if provided on your watercraft. Never allow a passenger to ride in front of the operator. Also, do not give a ride to a child whose feet cannot reach the footrest floor. And if you or your passenger is pregnant or in poor health, check with your doctor and ask if it's safe to ride. And please, never operate your wave runner after consuming alcohol or drugs. To start your PWC, attach the engine shutoff cord, which some also call a lanyard, to your left wrist, and then to the stop switch on the watercraft. Push the green button on the starter switch. To stop the engine, press the red button or pull out the shutoff cord. Keep the cord free from the handlebars so that the engine stops if the operator falls off. Remember that your watercraft will not start if the shutoff cord is not attached. Removing the cord is the best way to prevent accidental starts. As you start the engine, be aware that there is no neutral position, so the watercraft will start to move somewhat. Okay. Now that the engine is started and we're leaving the beach, keep a sharp lookout for boats, swimmers, and other objects in the water, and keep a safe distance away. Avoid tunnel vision by constantly looking all around to avoid potentially hazardous situations. Remember to always apply throttle to steer. Personal watercraft are water jet propelled. A jet pump and impeller are directly connected to the engine, and the jet thrust created by water moving through the pump and out the steering nozzle pushes the craft. The amount of jet thrust and the position of the handlebars determines how sharply you'll turn. More throttle produces higher thrust, so the watercraft will turn more sharply. Less throttle produces lower thrust, so the watercraft will turn more gradually. Releasing the throttle lever completely produces minimum thrust, and as the watercraft slows, your ability to steer the watercraft rapidly decreases until you apply throttle again or you reach trolling speed. Practice turning in an open area without obstructions until you have a good feel for these maneuvers. If the engine is stopped while riding, there is no thrust. The watercraft will go straight even though the handlebars are turned. Watercraft are not equipped with a separate braking system. They're stopped by water resistance when the throttle lever is released. From full speed, the watercraft could take up to 360 feet to stop, depending on many factors. See your owner's manual. If you are not sure that you can stop in time before hitting an obstacle, apply throttle and turn in another direction. If your watercraft is equipped with a reverse function, do not engage the reverse to slow down or stop. That may cause you to lose control, be ejected, or impact the handlebars. Instead, use reverse for slow speed maneuvering, such as docking. Just as there are rules of the road when driving a car, the U.S. Coast Guard has developed a set of navigation rules, or NAV rules, to help boaters of all types prevent accidents. In fact, they're often called the rules of the road. Here are some specific rules that you need to be aware of when operating your watercraft. Right of way. Whenever two boats on the water meet one another, one craft has the right of way. It's called the stand-on vessel. The boat that does not have the right of way is called the give-way or burdened vessel. These rules determine which boat has the right of way and what each boat operator should do. The boat with the right of way has the duty to continue its course and speed, except to avoid an immediate collision. When you maintain your direction and speed, the other boat operator can determine how best to avoid you. The boat that does not have the right of way has the duty to take positive and timely action to stay out of the way of the stand-on vessel. Normally, you should not cross in front of the boat with the right of way. You should slow down or change directions briefly and pass behind the other vessel. You should always move in such a way that the operator of the other vessel can see what you're doing. The steering rules. There are three primary situations you may encounter with other boats that could lead to a collision unless the steering rules are followed. They are meeting. For example, you're approaching another vessel head-on. Crossing. You're traveling across the other vessel's path. And overtaking. You are passing or being passed by another vessel. Meeting. If you're meeting another vessel head-on and are close enough to run the risk of collision, neither boat has the right of way. Both of you should alter course to avoid an accident. You should keep the other vessel on your port or left side. Crossing. When two boats are crossing each other's path close enough to run the risk of collision, the vessel that has the other on the starboard or right side must keep out of the way of the other. If the other vessel is on your right, you must keep out of its way. You are the give-way vessel. If the other boat is on your port or left side, remember that you should maintain course and direction, provided the other vessel gives you the right of way as it should. Overtaking. If you're passing another boat, you are the give-way vessel. This means that the other boat is expected to maintain its course and speed. You can pass on either side of the boat you are overtaking. You must stay out of its way until you are clear of it. Likewise, if another vessel is passing you, you should maintain your speed and direction so that the other boat can steer itself around you. Avoid riding close to shoreline homes and waterfowl nesting areas, and keep a respectful distance from fishermen, other boats, swimmers, and populated beaches. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. Have fun, and please ride safely.
The boat must be returned to the marina at the time you and Morningstar agreed to in your contract. Be sure to leave ample time for your return voyage back to the marina. Please keep in mind it will take you just as long to get back from your furthest destination away from the marina as it took you to get there. As you approach the dock, remember, the slower you go, the better. Take a look around for other boats and the conditions as you approach, and remember, go slow. Once the boat is checked in, the boat will then be refueled. You can pay for the fuel with either cash or with your credit card. Morningstar is happy to then assist getting you and your belongings to your car. Thank you for choosing Morningstar Marinas. You are now ready for a fun and safe day out on the water.